Welcome back to Cyberattack Sunday. This week's coverage runs from March 30th to April 5th, and quick highlight that tax season scams are back. Shocker. Please be careful. As always, you can find full articles and all my sources on Substack. Let's dive in. A newly discovered Android malware, dubbed Crocodilus, tricks users into revealing their cryptocurrency wallet seed phrases through fake prompts to backup keys. The malware allows attackers to gain full device access. Cybercriminals are using the hype around sporting events like the Super Bowl and March Madness to launch phishing campaigns disguised as betting and sports news sites. Users are lured into clicking malicious links via themed emails. The U.S. Department of Justice has recovered over $8 million from cryptocurrency scammers who used romance-baiting tactics to defraud victims into sending money. Ukrainian organizations are being targeted by the Russia-linked Gamaredon group, which uses military-themed file names to distribute the Remco's remote access Trojan. The campaign leverages geo-fenced infrastructure in Russia and Germany. An email security incident at Cord Specialty Dental Partners exposed sensitive information of more than 170,000 individuals. The breach involved unauthorized access to employee email accounts. CISA has published its analysis of a Spawn Chimera malware variant called Resurge, used in attacks targeting a recent Ivanti Connect Secure zero-day vulnerability. The agency urges immediate patching and monitoring. Threat actors are abusing WordPress's Mu plugins directory to install persistent backdoors on websites and redirect users to malicious domains. The Mu plugins run automatically without admin activation, making them ideal for stealthy attacks. A hacker has leaked 270,000 Samsung Germany customer support tickets that were allegedly stolen using compromised credentials. The breach highlights prolonged unauthorized access to internal systems. Attackers are posting malicious CAPTCHA challenges on fake LinkedIn pages to trick users into installing QuackBot malware. This marks a new wave of activity tied to the ClickFix campaign. A new campaign dubbed ClickFake Interview is being attributed to the North Korean Lazarus Group, which is targeting crypto professionals with fake job offers to spread malware. Hackers are exploiting the popularity of Zoom by distributing Black Suit ransomware through malicious campaigns using its branding. The attacks are primarily targeting Windows systems. A Russian threat group known as WWIII, aka EncryptHub, is using a Windows zero-day to distribute Silent Prism and DarkWisp backdoors. The malware is delivered through the MSC Evil Twin exploit chain. Oracle has denied one breach despite mounting evidence, while simultaneously notifying customers about another involving healthcare data. The company is facing criticism over its incident response. They did finally privately inform customers of the breaches before making a public statement towards the end of the week. A phishing-as-a-service group called Lucid is responsible for a large-scale mobile phishing campaign that spans 169 targets in 88 countries, using iMessage and Android RCS to deliver fake login prompts. U.S. authorities have seized more than $8 million linked to a crypto-based pig butchering scam, tracing the funds through several laundering routes before freezing key accounts. Coffee Loader, a newly identified malware loader, uses advanced evasion techniques to bypass EDR and forensic tools, marking a shift towards stealthier malware architecture. More than 1.5 million private photos from dating app users were leaked online due to human error. The breach has raised serious concerns about the mishandling of highly sensitive user content. Sophos researchers have tracked a phishing campaign by Keelan affiliates that targets managed service providers using Screen Connect. The campaign is consistent with a 3-year-long attack pattern labeled Stack 4365. Checkpoint confirmed a security incident following claims of sensitive data theft, but asserted the impact was minimal. The company has released a statement acknowledging the breach and is conducting further review. A threat actor known as Earth Alex has been targeting sectors across the APAC and LATAM regions using multi-stage attacks involving malware strains, Vargeat, and Cobicon. The group is believed to be based in China. A ransomware group has claimed responsibility for an attack on National Presto Industries subsidiary, National Defense Corporation. The group is believed to have stolen sensitive data before deploying encryption. Attackers are actively exploiting a critical authentication bypass vulnerability in the CrushFTP file transfer platform. Public proof-of-concept exploits have accelerated threat actor adoption. A newly discovered phishing campaign targeting Microsoft Teams users uses a combination of vishing, remote access tools, and DLL sideloading to deliver JavaScript-based backdoors. Ukrainian officials are blaming Russia for a cyber attack that targeted the country's railway infrastructure. CERT-UA concluded the tactics matched those of Russian intelligence operations. Researchers have observed a large wave of scanning activity from nearly 24,000 unique IP addresses targeting Palo Alto Network's global Protect portals, raising fears of imminent exploitation. Vulnerabilities in the WP Ultimate CSV Importer plugin allow attackers to fully compromise over 20,000 WordPress sites. The flaws could be exploited to upload malicious files and take over websites. Russian Railways experienced a major DDoS attack that disrupted its website and mobile apps for an extended period. Ticket counters remained operational despite the service disruption. A suspicious and informal job recruitment campaign is targeting security researchers with vague promises of hacking opportunities, raising red flags in the cybersecurity community. More than 1,500 exposed PostgreSQL instances have been hijacked to mine cryptocurrency using a stealthy, fileless malware strain known as pgmem. The campaign shows signs of ongoing expansion. Researchers uncovered a complex malware campaign using fake legal summons and PowerShell scripts to deliver DCRAT and Radamanthys payloads. The attack chain involves multiple obfuscation layers. North Korean IT workers are increasingly shifting their operations toward Europe, targeting organizations across various industries as part of state-sponsored cyber efforts. Security researchers discovered an undocumented remote access backdoor in Unitree's Geo-1 robot dogs, allowing full remote control and access to onboard cameras. A noticeable increase in scanning activity targeting Palo Alto Network's Global Protect VPNs suggests attackers may be probing for vulnerabilities in anticipation of larger-scale exploits. A ransomware attack that disrupted systems at a major Malaysian airport has raised alarms about cybersecurity readiness across Asia's transportation sector. The attackers reportedly demanded $10 million. Researchers identified an advanced version of hijack loader that uses call stack spoofing and GitHub-based command and control channels to evade detection and maintain persistence. A major breach involving Royal Mail and Twitter X has resulted in the leak of 144 gigabytes of sensitive data now being sold on dark web marketplaces. The information includes customer communications and internal data. FN7 has been linked to a new Python-based backdoor called Anubis, which gives attackers full remote control over compromised Windows systems via infected SharePoint sites. Draytech addressed a series of router reboots tied to cyber attacks, but left several technical questions unanswered, prompting speculation about deeper security issues. A Linux botnet called Outlaw is targeting weak SSH credentials to propagate cryptojacking malware. The campaign uses worm-like tactics to maintain persistence across networks. Cisco has issued an alert about a critical backdoor admin account in its smart licensing utility, CSLU system, that is being actively exploited by attackers. Authorities dismantled KidFlix, a major dark web platform used to host and share child sexual abuse material. The takedown was part of a coordinated law enforcement effort led by German police. Cybercriminals are misusing Google Calendar to deliver phishing links disguised as meeting invites. Victims are being tricked into clicking on malicious links leading to credential theft. Royal Mail is investigating a breach after hackers claim to leak 144 gigabytes of user data. The incident appears to have stemmed from a compromised third-party supplier. A web skimmer campaign is leveraging an outdated Stripe API to confirm stolen credit card details before exfiltration, making detection more difficult for security teams. Tensions between Israel and Iranian proxies have escalated in cyberspace, with attacks becoming increasingly sophisticated despite a slowdown in frequency. Thousands of counterfeit Android phones have been found to ship with pre-installed Triada malware, enabling remote access and user data theft. Most infections occurred in Russia. Researchers have identified 596 phishing domains impersonating Bybit in the aftermath of a major security breach, aiming to deceive cryptocurrency users. A recent study shows that 62% of cyber attacks against energy and water utilities in the past year were destructive in nature, posing major risks to critical infrastructure. Google patched two high-severity flaws, CVE 2024-38272 and CVE 2024-38271, that allowed zero-click file transfers without user approval in its Quick Share feature on Windows. Security experts are divided over which CVE identifier accurately describes an exploited CrushFTP flaw, leading to confusion across the industry as attacks increase. Highline Public Schools confirmed that sensitive personal, financial, and medical data was accessed during a ransomware attack that occurred in September 2024. An amateur hacker is using Proton66, a Russian bulletproof hosting provider, to deploy malware through a small-scale but active campaign. The cybercrime group Hunters International is moving away from ransomware and rebranding to focus on data theft and extortion tactics. A GitHub supply chain breach targeting Coinbase was traced to a single stolen token from a Spotbugs workflow, which was then used to compromise other projects. An authentication bypass flaw in CrushFTP is actively being exploited following confusion caused by a mishandled vulnerability disclosure process. The cybercrime group Evil Corp has partnered with Ransom Hub to execute large-scale cyber attacks, raising alarm over the potential global impact. The State Bar of Texas has issued a data breach warning after the INC ransomware group claimed responsibility and began leaking stolen data. A SQL injection vulnerability in Halo ITSM exposed organizations to risks of unauthorized data access and manipulation. Chinese threat actors exploited a remote code execution flaw in Ivanti VPN appliances that was initially misdiagnosed, allowing in-the-wild attacks. Microsoft has reported ongoing phishing campaigns that use tax-related lures and QR codes to distribute malware and steal credentials. U.S. and international agencies are warning organizations to defend against fast flux DNS, an evasion technique used by cybercriminals and nation-state actors. Crush FTP's CEO criticized cybersecurity firms for sowing confusion about a critical zero-day vulnerability, now under active exploitation. Ukraine's CERT-UA revealed multiple cyber attacks against state bodies and infrastructure, leveraging phishing emails to deploy Rexsteel malware. A critical vulnerability in Avanti Connect Secure is being exploited to deploy Trailblaze and Brushfire malware strains, prompting urgent patching. A critical vulnerability in Avanti Connect Secure is being exploited to deploy Trailblaze and Brushfire malware strains, prompting urgent patching. 5 major Australian superannuation providers were targeted in a cyber attack, resulting in over $500,000 in theft and temporary account lockdowns. A review of 3 energy companies revealed nearly 50 vulnerabilities, many stemming from poor cybersecurity practices in solar energy infrastructure. A GitHub token used in the TJ Actions automation pipeline was compromised, leading to a broader supply chain attack affecting multiple projects. The sudden dismissal of General Timothy Hoff by former President Donald Trump has surprised lawmakers and raised questions about national cybersecurity leadership. Yes, I know this isn't really cyber attack news, but at this rate, it's probably going to be soon. A hacker breached Europol's GitLab repositories, stealing mobile app source code and customer data belonging to as many as 200,000 users. Medusa's shift to a ransomware-as-a-service model has fueled its expansion, with attacks now targeting critical industries like healthcare and legal services. Several large Australian superannuation funds were targeted in a weekend-long credential stuffing campaign, compromising thousands of member accounts. A phishing campaign dubbed Poison Seed is hijacking corporate email marketing accounts to send messages containing cryptocurrency, wallet seed phrases to victims. The Port of Seattle is notifying 90,000 people after a ransomware attack in August 2024 resulted in the theft of personal information. The Lower Sioux Indian community is dealing with widespread disruptions after a ransomware attack impacted hotel, casino, and healthcare operations. North Korea's Lazarus Group is distributing the Beavertail malware and a new rat loader through malicious NPM packages that evade detection using hexadecimal encoding. And that's that. Like I said, what a week. Did I miss anything? Want me to go deeper into any of these events? Let me know in the comments. Please, like, follow, share, subscribe. Thank you.